TAF Africa Global is pleased to launch Dalaba Housing Estate. Dalaba Housing Estate is our newest estate located on the Sukuta-Jabang Road. You can buy a finished 2 or 3 bedroom house or service plots accompanied with a free fence and gate. At Dalaba Housing Estate, you get to enjoy bituminized roads, gated and fenced properties, solar street lights, water reticulation, public amenities, 1,500 fruit trees aligned in streets and many more. Make a 40% down payment today and spread the balance conveniently for 10 years with GTBank, EcoBank and Trust Bank. TAFAfricaHomes.com. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And again, welcome to this, today's session. It's always good to start with a story. What's the average age here? Huh? 20. So 19, 20, 20. So it's always good, I like Ahmad, it's always good to reflect back where we were when they were at your age and justify probably why you are here. Now, I need to now probably come down to your age and share my story at your age. And then when I'm ready, maybe you can also fast track your age. So maybe in the next 40 years, where you would want to be. Because I'm 40 years older than you. I am 3 times your age. So, but 20 years ago, if I remember, I was working for Balfabit. And I did my apprenticeship. You know, when I left school at about 18, I left school at Gambia High School. And then I went, you know, St. Peter's. St. Peter's was a technical training school. And I was hired as a junior instructor to teach woodwork. So I am saying so because I want you guys to know how important it is to acquire skills. So today, if you give me wood, you give me the machinery and everything, I can make you furniture. Whilst everybody is seeing me as probably TAF, the successful entrepreneur, you know, I have worked with my own hands. And today you guys are working with your hands. So if you fast track your life, probably in the next, even before the next 40 years or 10 years or so, you can be a big entrepreneur. But it's good that you are starting from here. So you understand the skills, and I would ask you to take value of this. Be very serious about this. Don't look down on these skills. You will need it one day. Even if you go up to be the biggest entrepreneur or whatever in life, whatever you are doing now adds value. So very briefly, I would encourage you to hold on to this and practice and be a master in whatever you are doing. Try to derive your passion in this. The most successful in life is one who derives passion in whatever career that he's taken. The love for it. Like me, I love something technical. I mean, every time I look at my life, anything technical, I love it. I enjoy it. So therefore, that's point number 1. You must love what you're doing. Don't do it because your father asked you to do it, or your mom, or your friends, or probably you don't just have a work, you just wanted to make money, or you're waiting to go back way, and whilst waiting, let me go and try and do something. No. Take up the opportunity because you love it. It's like drinking my cup of coffee. If I love coffee, that's the way you take up with your career. So passion is key, and I want you to remember this. That whatever you are doing, you know, so when you leave here, I want you to be passionate. I want you to take this to your grave. That whatever you are doing, you must have passion in it. Love it. You know, take ownership, you know. So please, by the time we leave here, maybe I will want to list 3 or 4 things that you need to take away. Nothing technical. But please have it cemented in your brains that now I am doing trowel technology. Or I am doing, is it trowel technology you said? No, somebody said trowel vocation. I'm sure in ordinary man's language, that's masonry. Yes, that's masonry. In a layman's language. But today with technology, they go trowel technology. So whatever you're doing, bear that in mind, that you love this, you're doing it because of a passion. You can now elevate from there because you will develop yourself. So that's passion, number one. Number two, I would like you to see you take risk. You must take risk. You must take risk. If you want to win in the lottery, you must play. So take no win. So if you think that you have £1 and you want to make money from the lottery, you have to go and buy a ticket. So you must take risk in your life, especially when you are young. When you are young, please, I would ask you to take risks. Don't be scared. If you are convinced, if you have a passion for masonry, you must take risk. I am sure you guys have seen me, you've heard me go to Nigeria. I took a risk. When you mention the word Nigeria in the Gambia, people are scared to death. They say, oh, Nigeria, how can you go to Nigeria? Some guy, very big guy here, even looked at me and asked me, I don't know how you can go and do this thing in Nigeria. But I took risk. If you don't take risk, you cannot beat it. You need to take risk. Okay? Whatever you're doing, as you develop further in life, you must have a vision. You need to know where you're going. Today, if you get out of the mall today, you must first have a vision that you want to go somewhere. Yes, I want to go to Banjul. That must first come out. Or I'm going to Talinding. Or I want to go to Basse. And then now you will work on how you get there. So whatever you are doing in your life, you must have a vision. Where you are today, you must think, okay, I am now 20, but I want to be the biggest developer, bigger than TAF in the next 10 or 5 years or 20 years. That's a vision. Or I want to own my own development company. Or I want to be a subcontractor of TAF. Or I want to do this. You must have a vision. So I will ask that you develop a vision. Number 4, perseverance. You must persevere. Mostly, especially for the young, they don't. But perseverance is key. Perseverance is key, at your age. And generally in life, you must persevere. That is something that I want you also to remember. I will not want to list so many. There are so many things you can do in life to succeed. But I want you to list them. And then the last one, where I would want to stop, is persistence. Persistence. Don't give up. Don't give up. There's a common saying that says, if you try and fail, try again. Try again. Actually, in some of the postings that I do these days, I have said one where, people don't really count my failures. But I have failed mercilessly. I have failed in occasions, in some ventures, mercilessly. Actually, my successes are much less than my failures. But people only look at the successes. So therefore, you must persist. If you try it this time and you fail, try again. So, just shortly, because I don't want to overdose you with all this, try and remember, even if it's 3 out of the 5, make it your motto. Always remember, as you move along in life, try and remember that. So, in my own part, that's what I would like to do. I am happy that you are here. And the fact is that you did this on your own initiative. It wasn't GTTI as a body officially who initiated this. So I would like to thank you for it, for taking the initiative to start this, as young as you are. So this gives us a lot of hope. And at TAF Africa Global, this is part of our vision to develop young people like yourselves. Because we really understand there is lack of capacity in this country, especially in the vocational area. And for us, in our business, construction is key. And we're encouraging Gambians like yourselves to take up these positions. We don't want to see, most of the time, if you look on TV, you see people of your age group dying in the Mediterranean. So it is part of our vision to make sure we create the environment and the structures to absorb you guys, so we train you and employ you. As you are aware, we have a vision to develop 1 million homes over the next 20 years. Now, 1 million homes, all of you will benefit, plus the thousands and thousands of Gambians who are outside there. And we want to encourage more Gambians to come on board on training. I mean, so that's one thing that we want to do whilst we're building this, that we don't see foreigners coming into this country and taking up these jobs and making money, and the money going out of this country. We would rather have you guys so much trained that we have oversupply and start exporting you outside. We did it in Nigeria. In Nigeria, in our Riftaf project, we took over 400 Gambians and Senegalese tradesmen there. 400. Some were taken from here, they went on a flight with their toolbox. Have you ever heard of that, a carpenter going out as an expatriate? And they were paid in hard currency. They were paid in hard currency. So that's an opportunity. So we would love to see people like yourselves being well developed in such a way that not only will we be feeding the local market, but we will now be exporting Gambians to be experts in the different areas that you guys are being trained. I would like for it to be interactive. So probably what we could do, just open it up, and then let's have questions from you guys as we move further. So I'll open the floor. Don't be shy. Ask anything you want to ask. Okay? Who will build the cart? You will. And please, you see where I shout? Act like a man. Shout.
I would like to ask how it all started, like how the whole project started from scratch.
Okay, my question is, Mr. TAF, what are the risks that you take during your studies in this? Okay, sir. During your course, what are the risks that you face? Yeah, the difficulties and consequences you face.
Is as a foreigner in Nigeria, what are the consequences you face in meeting new people there? In the new, it's a new world that you get into. It's a new world that you get into. What really motivated you to be able to have that motive to do your business in a foreign country?
Good morning to you all. My name is Adam Bite. Mr. TAF, I would like to ask you the year that you started your entrepreneurship.
People around who discourage you, what do you think will be your advice towards young females like me studying this course?
Actually, as I said, I mean, I graduated from high school, so I did my O-levels. But my experience, actually, I discovered my passion whilst I was going to school. So at a very early age, when I was in Form 2 or so, Form 1, Form 2, I was very passionate about woodwork. Woodwork, metalwork, technical drawing, anything that was technical, I was very passionate about it. And some of my peers will tell you this, that in school I did very well in those subjects. But I stayed on my passion. I mean, because those days, really, going to high school and looking forward to being a carpenter or doing carpentry, that wasn't really the thing, So maybe I was lucky also to stay on my passion. I was proud of, taking up my career. So the problems really was generally looking down on something like this, on TVET, on technical and vocational training. That has been there for a long time. Now are the days when people like yourselves are doing it. But in the past, the curriculum in the Gambia, we only expected those who went to secondary school, junior secondary school. Junior secondary school was a 4-year course, from Form 1 to Form 4. And after that, those are the people who will now move into technical and vocational training. Those who went to high school were expected to go more into academics, go to university. That was what was expected. That they will turn up being engineers, doctors, lawyers, whatever. You hardly would you see anybody who has gone and finished in high school, going to do, woodwork and carpentry. So there was some sort of stigma. Maybe that was a problem. But I did overcome this. How it was done, I cannot tell you. Maybe it was just by luck or divine intervention. But I kept to what I knew best, and I enjoyed it. I had a passion for it. That was one of the things that helped me. And then somebody asked about how did I start? Did my business start? I told you, after leaving high school, I thought, at Miserio. It was called Miserio those days. And then it was changed into Lamin Technical Center. Before now it's called St. Peter's. So there, I worked with the Catholic Mission as a junior instructor. And then from there, I started working for Balfour Beatty. Balfour Beatty was a big international British construction firm. They came here to build the port of Banjul. They were the first to build the port of Banjul with so many other projects. The central bank, they built it. A lot of rural work in agriculture. So I was hired as an engineer's assistant in 1977. So I got trained on the job. And I worked with Balfour Beatty, Atlantic Hotel. There I was an engineer. So whilst on the job, I did architectural draftsmanship. I did surveying. I did project management. And, basic engineering. Because I was working with qualified and professional engineers. So there I really did my apprenticeship. And then after Balfour Beatty, I worked for Luis Diaz de Losada. It was a Spanish firm. And I was the project manager, the current Trust Bank building on ECOWAS Avenue called Buckle Street. I was the project manager for that building. From there, I left, and then I worked for Seou Cissé and Sons. So after Seou Cissé and Sons, in 1990, I left and started my business. That will answer your question when I started. Somebody asked about the year. So, but what is important throughout that period was that I did my apprenticeship. It took me about 15 years to work for others before I started working for myself, which is not the order these days. And I would advise you to avoid that, to bear that in mind. Don't be qualified too fast. Those are the things that we see today. That at your age now, at 20, maybe after finishing GTTI, after a year of working or so, you say, oh no, I'm going to set up my own company. It doesn't work that way. You have to do your apprenticeship. And in English, they say, practice makes perfect. So you need to practice. So for me, I did my apprenticeship for 15 good years. Working for different companies and learning on the job before I started my own business. So that's question number 2. Number 3, difficulties with studying. Really, I was trained on the job. I did a diploma in England in 1986, in Hove, very close to Brighton. And then this was with the Chartered Institute of Building, CIOB, in England. But really for me, if you ask about my career, it's really irrelevant. My career was more on practical experience, to getting the job done. My career wasn't built on paper qualification. And for everything I do, mostly is based on my practical experience. Then somebody asked, being a foreigner in Nigeria. I think you were asking what motivated me to go there, moving into Nigeria. Nigeria, I had always wanted to go outside of the Gambia. At one point in time in my business, maybe some 10, 15 years ago, I saw the Gambia as a very small market. So I had always thought of, exploring, the West African sub-region. And I went to Mali. My first place I went was Mali. I went to Senegal, We are now registered in 8 African countries. As far as Mozambique, Rwanda, Cameroon, But our dominance is in Nigeria and the Gambia. So Nigeria, I saw an opportunity. I went there because the population of Nigeria is half of West Africa. So there's the demand. Today, Nigeria is about 200 million people. We are only 2 million, so you can imagine how big that country is. In terms of GDP, the GDP of Nigeria today is about 300 and something billion, almost $400 billion. That's their GDP. And Gambia's GDP is a bit above 1 billion. So you can see the difference. Lagos State alone, Lagos as a state, Lagos GDP is bigger than the whole of the West African countries except Ghana. If you put all of them together, all the West African countries, maybe 13 of them, you put their GDP together against the GDP of Lagos State is bigger. So just to justify why I went there, the market was bigger. I saw an opportunity there. The risks were higher. The challenges were more, but no pain, no gain. I mentioned about the risk. I saw the risk, there were challenges, and I worked on more on the opportunities, turning those challenges into opportunities. Actually, I went to the most difficult part of Nigeria, and that is the south of Nigeria, where there is militancy, where there are community issues. But we learned and we worked around it, and today we have succeeded in building the biggest estate in the south, where really that's where the treasury of Nigeria is, that's where the money is. So as Gambians, we took a lot of Gambians there. We also trained Nigerians, and so they're part of us. Today, as you can see, some of our staff here are Nigerians because we are a Pan-African company. We don't look at ourselves anymore as only Gambians. We are looking at ourselves as Africans. And wherever we can find talents in Africa, and from Africans, we will use them. So that's what we saw. Here we started, and then advice to the ladies. My advice, I will say this is in Wolof. ñu ne ñaari loxo mooy sol tubéy, ñaari loxo mooy taka malaan. There is gender equality. I would encourage young ladies, to take up the challenge of TVET, pick up vocational skills, because there are opportunities there. Pick it up, and whatever the men can do it, you can do it. So I will encourage them. And the majority of youth at your age are ladies. And whatever the gentlemen can do, the ladies can do it. So that's my advice. Anything final before we wrap up?
Question is, what was your best experience you ever had building this company up?
28 years of building this company. I thank God that I am living long enough to see continuity. I mean, people taking away from me. These days, I am not active in the business. I have younger ones who have taken up the leadership of this business at every level. The average age of TAF today is 31 years. 31. We have a very young management team, and I thank God. I am very proud of them. I think they're doing the right thing. You can see all the things being done by TAF. It is being done by Africans at an average age of 31. So again, this is my happiest moments. I'm living my happiest moments where what I toiled, the seeds that I sowed on the ground is now maturing, it's now growing. Probably we haven't seen all the fruits yet, but there is hope that there will be continuity. Because in Africa, remember that hardly do we see African companies, growing past a generation. They normally vanish after it has been set up by the owner. When the owner goes or he retires, the company goes down. But in our case, I don't think, in TAF Africa Global's case, I don't think that's the case. I think we are proud that whilst things are happening now, whilst I am slowly going into my retirement, I have a young management staff who are very well motivated, who are proud of what they are doing, and they're really making it happen. We are also proud that we are seeing young people like yourselves who are looking forward to joining, this company. That's what we are looking for. We're trying to build a good, well-disciplined, young Gambian staff that will deliver world-class standards. That's what we're looking for. And this is the way to do it. As you know probably, we have set up our foundation, and that's what I work on now. I have my foundation, and I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view, like an eagle's view, from the top. Looking at this company, where this company should be in the next 20 years. And therefore, we're investing in building capacity. So out of our money that we make, the profit we make, we're not only putting it in our pockets, but we are putting it back into training and having the capacity so that this company will be as big as any international company. You must be aware that last year we had our third TAFCon. You know about TAFCon? It's a TAF conference, where we're trying to we're encouraging Gambians, young Gambians, to come on board. You saw the TAFCon on the board. So to train you, so in the long term, you will take over the mantle of this company. And we encourage other companies, in the Gambia, not to look at where we are now, but to look into the future. A successful leader is the leader who is able to replicate himself. You don't build followers. You are already a leader, so you have people following you. But a successful leader is the one that will be able to replicate good leaders. And that's what we look at from you guys. We would love to see you become, leaders that are more successful than the TAFs and the big names you hear in the Gambia. So that's really, to answer your question, my very happy moment, which I'm enjoying. When I look at you in the eyes and your age, I see myself in you. It reminds me where I was some 20 years ago. And I am encouraged, because we never had opportunities like what you have now. So I am encouraging young people like yourselves. Let them drop the Kasi attires. Let them drop the baradas. At the time, I still drink attire. After my lunch, yes, I drink attire. But please, through this medium, and you should go out and convince your friends that from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock or to 5 o'clock is not the time to drink attire. Let them get up from the seats and go out there and try to pick up a skill. That's what we should advocate for. I mean, being a young Banjulian, obviously, you are addicted to attire. All of us drink attire. Even in Nigeria, I have somebody who's saving my attire for me. There's nothing wrong in that. But please, there's a time for it. Attire came from the Mauritanians. Remember, they will always have it after they've eaten their food. So please, we're appealing to every young Gambian to drop sitting around the corner between the hours of 8 and 5. That's the time that you make a living. Get up from your bed, go out there and strive hard to make a living. Any more question? Yes, madam.
Where are your aims and objectives towards it?
I think I did say that it was. So next January we'll be 29 years old. And from TAF Construction, we have developed a lot of companies. We grew to be called TAF Holding Company, and now we are TAF Africa Global. The reason why we were TAF Holding Company, we diverted into other areas. I don't know whether you guys are aware, anybody would remember. I'm sure you will not remember. I used to own a hotel together with my friend called TAF Bell. So we were into tourism also. And then we had TAF building materials. We used to sell building materials. We used to have also TAF plant hire. So we had all these, and that was why it was a holding company. From there, holding company was only in the Gambia. But when we started expanding in Africa, now the name is TAF Africa Global. Because if you go to Nigeria, there we are called TAF Nigeria Homes. If you go to Senegal, we are called TAF Senegal Homes. If you go to Rwanda, it's TAF Rwanda Homes. You know, so yes, we started in 1990, which is 28 years plus now. Is that it? Somebody else?
My question is, what advice do you have to the youth who are using the military
here? Obviously, given the numbers today, like any country, anywhere in the world, it's difficult to have work. Unemployment is growing because the numbers are growing. But there are big opportunities here. From the basic things of even trying to learning a trade, doing some small business. I will tell you something that I noticed in the Gambia. It is only in the Gambia that I haven't seen hawkers, people selling in the street. Every country you go in Africa, for example, at the traffic lights, you will find young people, young men and women, with something that they are selling. They will try and find something that the people need all the time, and they will sell it. If you make a margin, even if you have $100, you go to the supermarket and somewhere and buy something, and then sell it for $105. Somebody who's driving in the car will pay that extra $5 or $10, and that is your profit. If you multiply it, you can grow it up. And let me give you an example at probably an age younger than you, what we did then. I tell people, and I have some of my friends, very successful today. We used to work, do holiday jobs when we were in Gambia High School. At probably around the age of 13, 14, we would go to GPMB. Those days, GPMB was the groundnut company, and they used to import rice. So we would go there to find work. We went ourselves. We didn't wait for our parents to send us there because we wanted some money for our own, holiday expenditure, like going to party and whatever. We didn't beg our parents. So what we do is whenever there was a vessel that brought rice, we will be employed as tally clerks to tally the rice or to start sweeping the rice inside the hole, inside the vessel. We will go inside there. So all the spillage of the rice, we'll put it into bags and tie them up for the dock workers to take it out. Then the other one was, anytime they were exporting groundnut cake, rakal, it used to be called hoti-soti. When the dock workers empty the product, the rakal, you are laughing, huh? We used to pack them up and then roll them. We will pack them, count them, 9 of them, and then roll them on the 10th one and put it aside. And to give you some of the names, hot in the country today is the social security issue. The chairman, Serin Jallo, Papa Jallo, is my friend and my classmate. All of us did this. People like Kabir Fall, you will know, P.A. Riley, the names can go on. And so many young men, young boys at that time, we did that. And we worked in shifts. Somewhere we would do night shift, and night shift meaning going there at 7 o'clock. And imagine at times during December, when it was so cold, you will have to put on a jacket and go inside the hole. And it was from 7 o'clock in the evening to 7 o'clock in the morning for the night shift. Then the day shift is from 7 in the morning to, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and vice versa for the other shift. So my advice to these young men is that let's look at the success rate in those going in the back way. The number of people that have perished. Young, very, very young, very young age. Let's look at the success story. It's very little. It's a fraction of those that have gone that way. And I don't think that the country is hard enough to take that risk. So I would ask them to rethink about this and try to pick up a trade. Our doors are open. We are employing as many as possible. Come and start and work as a laborer. There's nothing wrong in working with your own hands. There's dignity in labor. It's your own sweat. We have a saying in Wolof that sayo talo sa loho bi def ko ni rek ñaka nga sa ngor. You've given away your dignity. Sayo ñane, please, can I have this? Then you've given away your dignity. There is pride. There's dignity in working hard and earning a living. As long as it is legal. Anything you are doing that is legal, there's dignity in doing it. If you are shoveling sand, if you are preparing cement for the mason, if you are bending iron, there's dignity in it. Use your hard-earned labor. So we would love to see that this country of ours, that we stop the blame game, especially for us, the youth. You know, I consider myself as a youth. For us, the youth, blaming things like government. Oh no, the government is not doing anything for us. It takes two to tango. Let us take our responsibility. We are young. And let's look at the opportunities. You see around, Ismail Bojang was training you. He's about your age. So please, that's my advice to all these young people who are taking the back way, that it is time to stop. The success rate is very, 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 very low, extremely low. The risk is too high. Now we're even seeing returnees, people being sent back in numbers. So you're wasting your life. Today I can guarantee you, if you are serious and you're passionate about picking up a trade, in the next 5 years or so, you might start driving your cars. There's a lot of work to be done in this country. It's green, it's untapped. So that's my encouragement. Is that it? Okay. Thank you.
TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.
Okay, my name is Adam Bite. I'm from New Joswang, and I'm studying architectural draftsmanship at the Gambia Technical Training Institute, known as GTTI. I have been here in the TAF Africa Global company as an intern, and I have been working with a team who are managing one compound here. I enjoyed working with them because they are always ready to answer my questions, and they are always moving with me. And my boss, Ismaila, he's a well-motivated guy who is always looking for our correct movements. So I would like to give thanks to Mr. TAF, who is the entrepreneur of this company. He's also a well-motivated guy who is always looking for our correct movements. I would like to give thanks to all my colleagues who are also moving together with me.
Assalamu alaikum to you all. My name is Fatu M. Jata. I live in Bundum Bohol. I am a student at GTTI. I graduated from Nuswa Senior Secondary School. I'm now at GTTI studying construction, technician in construction technology. I joined TAF for my interns for this thing, internship for the attachment. I learned a lot from them, especially with Ismail Bojang. He took me to different kind of sites. I learned a lot from them. I came here. Here was the first time to me to see someone setting out excavation and so many things. Good. I learned a lot also from TAF today for what he motivated me and motivated my friends too, like my young talented females who are ready to collaborate in the technical field. Because in so many years before, females don't want to do this kind of technical job because they think like it's only based on men. But we came on with the idea that's how I came into this work. Before the time I graduated from my grade 12, I do follow my father, who was a carpentry working with TAF in 2017 to 2018, and this year he passed away. He is no more in life. Then he helped me more and motivated me about this field, and I'm up to this field. What I would like to advise my young females is this work is not meant for only males, but it's for both females. This is gender bias. Let us be like, we don't say it's 50-50, what a man can do, a woman can do it. But what we are saying, like what a man can do, a woman can do more than that. Or what a man can do, let's say that we the females, we can do more than that. This is the life, that we have the chance to do so many things. My experience in this site shows me a lot because I met with different kind of people, I met with different kind of contractors, and I met with different kind of laborers. sometimes I came to sites, I go with them, work with them. Here is the first place where I do concrete, where I myself mix concrete and pour it. And here is the area also where I did the iron binding and so on and so forth. Here is the first place also that I lay blocks that I'm willing, like if I am given another chance to do it, I will be able to do it. Then thank you very much.
Ibrahim Ajaju. I graduated from Da Vinci Senior Secondary School, and later on I joined GTTI. I'm studying electrical installation. After my 1-year course, then I took a form, come to OTAC for my intensive training as an electrician. So I'm training, these guys are training me, Ebenezer and MM. Those are the boys I'm training with. They are Nigerians from Nigeria. Honestly, I'm learning a lot from them. They are teaching me, they are willing to teach. So we are working at Njie. We moved from Njie at times to Brufut, from Brufut to Paradise, where they ask me anything that you don't know, you can ask us. So what I'm really learning from them, I'm really learning from them. So if I have any opportunity to come back to TAF and have my intensive training, which I will take it as a good. The advice I have for the guys who are going through Bagwe is that nobody can be rich through one day. No matter what, you have to go through obstacles, and these challenges make life more meaningful. My dream is to have a company owner one day, which I am working towards. I can't have just money one day. This is why I love the work that I'm doing right now as an electrician. Yeah, I'm thanking all the guys who are willing to help me. Ebenezer, Emma, Chidema, and the others, my boys. I really thank them. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ismail Abojang. I am a supervising engineer at TAF. I've been working here for about 6 months, started sometime in March. I recently graduated from University of Cape Town in South Africa, came back to Gambia, moved back, and I've been working with TAF ever since. I've also been tasked with training the students. I'm very proud of how much they've been learning. I'm proud of how much effort they're showing and how much motivation. They're a good bunch of students. They're always asking questions. They're always willing to come help me whenever I have other works to do on site. Although we do link them to the contractors and we let them do their training with the contractors, they're always willing to come back to the office and learn other managerial and supervision skills as well as architectural draftsmanship, which is what a few of the interns are doing. So once again, I'm very impressed with how much motivation and effort that they're showing. I'm very hopeful for their futures. I'm very hopeful for Gambia's future. If we have more students like this, more interns that are willing to take time aside from their holiday to come and learn, although even if it's a requirement from the university, but then they're showing that they want to learn, then we have no problems in the future in terms of our technical industry and our technical abilities. Thank you very much.
TAF Africa Global is pleased to launch Dalaba Housing Estate. Dalaba Housing Estate is our newest estate located on the Sukuta Jabang Road. You can buy a finished 2 or 3 bedroom house or service plots accompanied with a free fence and gate. At Dalaba Housing Estate, you get to enjoy bituminized roads, gated and fenced properties, solar street lights, water reticulation, public amenities, 1,500 fruit trees aligned in streets and many more. Make a 40% down payment today and spread the balance conveniently for 10 years with GTBank, EcoBank and Trust Bank. Terms and conditions apply. Wait, this is the best part. We are giving a discount on outright payments. For more information and exceptional service, please call our office line on +220 4410 Better still, call us on mobile or via WhatsApp on +220 376 2333 or +220 776 2333. You can also visit our website on www.tafafricahomes.com. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.